There's a really interesting story about a painting that's currently in Chicago that was found in an antique shop in the UK by a man called Anthony Hayes in 1995. Now, this painting, which it turns out from a little bit more research, had originally started in a convent in France in the just before the First World War, ended up in America, and then somehow or other got back to the UK. This painting, it turns out, has been authenticated by a machine, by an AI tool, as being a painting by Raphael. That puts it among one in 200 odd paintings that Raphael had completed by his death in 1520. He left behind about 200 works of art. That's not that many, really. Now, the painting was bought in the UK for £30,000, and Anthony Hayes teamed up or got his friends to club together to produce the money to pick up the painting because he thought there was something special in it. It's a painting on wood of the Holy Family, Mary, Elizabeth, Jesus, and John. And there's a little goldfinch in one corner, and that's a symbol of the crucifixion. Now, the last Raphael to go on auction, public auction, was in 2009, the Head of the Muse, and that fetched $48 million in Christie's. But it's a market which is growing, and so if this painting, which at the moment is in a vault, this is really where I'm coming to. At the moment it's in a bank vault in Chicago. If this painting proves to be a genuine Raphael, and it's waiting for the big wigs in the art world to authenticate it themselves to say they think it is a Raphael, then the sum that it might fetch is astronomical. In 2017, if you recall, the painting Salvator Mundi, attributed to Leonardo da Vinci, fetched £450 million, and it's ended up on the yacht of Salman, Mohammed bin Salman, the Saudi crown prince. And there is talk that he will build two museums, a museum for Islamic art, a museum for Western art, but so far not a stone has been laid on a stone in the kingdom. So this painting, attributed to Leonardo da Vinci, remains hidden. And there was talk of it being exhibited in Paris, in the Louvre, and Mohammed bin Salman, MBS, was irritated that it wasn't going to be hung next to the Mona Lisa, so the two could be seen together. So he then pulled the painting and offered nothing else in its place. So far, that painting has been effectively hidden. We've got photographs of it. Now, Anthony Hayes, the man in Chicago, died last year. And a huge number of well-wishers have clubbed together, pooling £500,000 to help to study the attribution, to try and find out if this painting is actually by one of the four great painters. Somebody's called them the four Ninja Turtles, after the Ninja Turtles, Donatello, Raphael, Leonardo, and Michelangelo. So that is the prize. The prize is always to find a painting or work of art by one of those great four, and this seems to be it. So the AI firm is called Art Recognition. It's based in Zurich, and it, for example, studied the painting of Samson and Delilah, which is still in the National Gallery in London, and it has concluded with a 97% certainty that it is a fake, that it's not by Rubens at all. It's still on exhibition, and they've a similar sort of certainty hangs around this painting in the Chicago vault, which has been cleaned and retouched and so on. They say that the faces of the Christ Child and St. John and Mary are almost certainly by Raphael, but the face of Elizabeth is definitely not, and the clothes and background probably were completed by somebody in the studio, which is quite normal. Now, back to the bank vault. So while art historians hesitate to confirm any attribution, this painting is being held in a what do we call it? In a cupboard. It's being held in a cupboard, a metal cupboard, a very safe cupboard, but it is a cupboard nevertheless. That's not where paintings are supposed to be. Paintings are supposed to be shown, are they not? They're supposed to be on display, are they not? And that's why they were painted. To be hoarded in a bank vault, I think, is a detestable fate for any work of art. And I think it's the duty of art critics around the world to get over to Chicago and release this painting from its prison. This is their duty, and they should hurry to do so. It's taken too long, and I think the world needs to see this painting properly.